channel. Today we're going to be making a milky dessert called trilece. Now this is originally from Albania and Turkey. This cake is called trilece because it contains 3 types of milk, hence why it's 3. We're going to be using condensed milk, evaporated milk, and about a litre of cow milk, full fat. Because my cake is quite a big size, I'm having it for a party, that's why I'm using 10 eggs. Now, and it's a big dish. Now if you're making like a smaller dish just for your family, then I suggest you use 6 eggs. With each egg, same amount, you're going to have to add the same amount of sugar and the same amount of flour. So if I'm going to be using 10 eggs, I'm going to use tablespoons of sugar and 10 tablespoons of flour. So it's if you're going to use 6 eggs, then it'll be 6 sugar and 6 flour and so on. The other thing I like to add in this cake is a little bit of double cream because it gives it a little bit of smooth texture at the bottom. I bought this from a local Turkish shop. It's already made Krem Karamel. It's the layer on top, and it will have this image of the cake. We're going to be adding baking powder, or you can use cake flour. Here we have the hand mixture. The first thing we're going to do is separate the eggs from white to yolk. Add the sugar so the sugar can dissolve. So 10 tablespoons. This is the egg whites. You'll know it's beaten properly when you can flip it and nothing comes out. Now, the next step is we're going to add the egg yolks. Now we're going to add in the baking powder and the flour. Now we're not going to use the hand mixture anymore, we're going to use a spatula only because we can slowly blend it in the flour. Add one at a time, and gradually mix in. Gradually mix. Five spoons of flour so far. Again, add flour, because I've only added 5 earlier, so this is the 6th spoon. once you've oiled your tray, layer biscuit paper only on the bottom to prevent the dough from sticking. So you've got to leave it to cool down completely. So once you've cut all the way around, I'm going to flip the cake onto a piece of There we go. It doesn't matter if a little bit has stuck on. So now you're going to take your milk, mix both milks together. Toothpick and just go around the sponge. So take the same tray again, and in here you're going to add evaporated milk. But I do like to add a tiny little bit of double cream just to give it that smooth texture. Now what I'm going to do is just mix that up. Now we're going to take the cake. Took the cake and we've put it on top of the milk, like that. Now you can take your fork again, make tiny holes throughout. Don't make too many holes, because when you layer the caramel, the top bit will start to tear off. So that's why I make some holes with a toothpick, some with a fork. It's up to you. Now you take your condensed milk and cow milk that was heating up in the microwave, and we're gently going to pour it over. this is out, then that's perfect. You don't want to overflow it with milk, and you don't want too less because then it'll be a dry cake. So this will be. Now we're going to leave this for about 5 minutes to absorb all the milks, and we're going to take the last but not least, the caramel. There are many different caramels in Asda, Tesco, Sainsbury's and so on, but this one is a special one which I've only found in certain Turkish shops in London. So if you're in a different country, I don't know how you can find it or even how to make it, but I bought this already made, and it's especially for trilece cake. And this is what it looks like. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get a fork and just mash up a little, because it's going to spread onto the cake. If this is hard, it's going to break the cake layer. So you have to mash it to make sure it's creamy enough. So I'm not going to use all the tub. So this is 850 grams. I'm going to use half of it. You could also use as much as you like. It depends on how much caramel you like. But I'm going to use half of the tub, just enough to cover all of the cake. The reason why I'm using this is because it's soft and a spoon or a fork would tear up the cake. So okay. Take some. Done layering the cake, see half of it is in there. You can just about see the cake underneath. Some bits are thicker, some bits are thinner, doesn't have to be even. So that's what you got. Now the next part is we have to cut it. Fridge overnight. However, if you made it in the morning and you've got a party at lunchtime or in the evening, then make it first thing before you start cooking or making anything else, because it is a cold dessert. So you have to put it in the fridge for at least maybe 3 to 4 hours. The best result would be if you leave it in overnight.